Hello, all our fans out there. This is Jay from Australia and Diana from the great US of A with our next episode of Life Theories. We're glad that you could come along and listen to our, review of what's been happening the last week. There's been a lot been happening. How are you, Diana?
I'm good. I'm just a lot of we got Mercury Retrograde, we got the Scorpio moon, right, the lunar eclipse, and
Blood
we have
moon.
a lot of intense energies going on.
There is a lot of intense energies. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of, for what I've been reading, people who are aware, if you get where I'm going, there's been a lot of changes the last couple of months with people's realities coming to forth, I believe, especially in my life, coming to forth of what you really need to work on deep down. It comes up and we're trying to eliminate it and being aware of it because we have done all this work for the last, we've both done a lot of work for the last couple of years. And our true selves are coming, one we want to live. And I'm feeling the energy, I'm feeling a good energy in this one. There's stuff that's rubbish as well. But that's because you're challenged, because you're now what you're doing is you're living your new life. And I believe that we are getting into our life that we're supposed to live, and our energy and what we wanted to live. We had to do what we had to do to get to this point.
Yeah, speaking of Mercury Retrograde, my phone just, I thought I had a wet spot on my phone, right? So I took the screen protector off and it cracked. I had the white thing of death, the big strip, and I couldn't do anything. So I have thousands of memes on there, thousands of pictures. But you know what? All that's kind of from, like, a lot of it's from the older periods of my life. But the memes more recent, like, that's all the stuff I use for my Facebook groups, Instagram. So I was like, hey, you know what? It's a fresh start. And most of my contacts were lost. So I was like, you know what? It's all good. But I feel kind of better. Like I detox my phone. So I kind of found the lesson, right? I almost freaked out first. I was like, you know, most of it's junk. I could just find new stuff. It's not. But it's like even pictures from 5 years ago. Even me taking pictures going to restaurants. Like not all bad. It's a mix of everything. It's just shit I didn't delete. You know. So I think it was kind of good. I actually feel lighter. So I got an iPhone now. I had a Galaxy before, a Samsung, but so I switched to an iPhone now. So. It's nice.
That's awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I guess I've come into my own with regards to where I want to go in life. It's really weird that I've got the new phone and all those kinds of things. So you can see progressively where you're going, and look, things come up in your life, and the universe puts things in front of you.
Yeah.
That give you an indication of where you've got to go. I think the big thing for me is actually taking my power back. And I've learned one thing I do. The other day I got another lesson, which is basically not putting myself first. It was still a bit of base programming that I had that someone sort of gave me a little lesson about. And I look back on it and I wrote about it I write little articles which I put on Journey of a White Feather, WWHealth Journey of a White Feather website. There you go, free plug, shameless plug. But I wrote about it and I thought there's still that little bit of programming, and then you have to be aware too. You have to control. So it's like someone tells you something, right? And you go, yeah, I'll work on it, but you're not in that headspace, and your ego's, you're still living in the ego.
Yeah.
Now, from what I see, I'm not really living in that ego anymore, which is good. As much. I mean, it still happens, don't get me wrong, but at least I'm aware of it.
And just with anything, it's repetition, right? It took years of repeating in your head the programming, right? Why we got programmed that way with repetition, right? Over years, and we started believing it. And especially when you're young, you're a kid, you absorb everything like a sponge, right? So anything your parents did, anything in school, wherever, those are your base, like, programming. Like, I can even think back, I did some inner child thing. Sarah did the meditation, whatever. We did it purging, right, when she did her live, her Chill Pill Wednesday. And it was we did some work with the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, and I had a memory. This is some inner child stuff. I had some memories come up when I was a kid of, like, a rejection of, like, weird shit, or, like, a girl I was friends with, like, I was dating a guy in the 7th grade or something, but it was like he hooked up with my best friend or something. It's something so stupid, right? But the memory came back, and I was like, are you telling me this memory from back then is like affecting now? You know, there's something reason why it came up.
Yep.
And then I had a few other things, like when I was in elementary school, something where I was embarrassed. I was like, dude, what? Like, but that stuff caused an emotional reaction, right? It's messing up with your nervous system, right?
Yep.
And,
exactly.
And when you don't resolve it, and at a kid, you don't know how to process all that. And even if you talk to your parents, they don't really know, or you don't even tell them everything. You know, so it's like you're a kid, you don't have coping skills. So man, everything affects everything. I was like, isn't that weird that memory came up? But I saw patterns repeating of feeling unworthy, right? Or feeling like, oh, this person's always picked someone else over me. It's that kind of stuff. And like that kind of went into my adulthood. I'm like, wow. I was like, I just said, you know, I have awareness. I was like, okay, this came up for a reason, but you know, that was the past. That's not true now, and I'm just moving forward. And you know, that
I get that all the time.
It doesn't have to be my reality anymore. It doesn't. I don't have to feel that way. But when you're playing into it, when it's triggering your nervous system, right? Like you're focusing on any situation, you're making it into I'm unworthy. Like it could be the person's acting a certain way for whatever reason. It's nothing to do with you, but because that's in your like your nervous system, right? Because it's in your like subconscious. You're thinking, and then you say, "Oh, see, that's proof that I'm not worthy. This person doesn't want to talk to me or doesn't want to be." You see what I'm saying? How we like manipulated around our beliefs, right? So it's kind of crazy.
Quite agree with you. I've got I always have these memories, and now that I'm aware of where I am in life now, I can say that affected me. It really did affect me. Like, why am I still thinking about that? Because you have these memories, and you go, you know, you have these memories of those things, and go wonder what is actually happening. But it's actually jogging your memory to say this is where you're still living in the past. You're still living in. I guess you're still programming. The life I'm leading now is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. And it's all about reprogramming and getting me to where I am in life so that I can have even more things. It's all about putting myself first. And that is the general lesson that I got from the Shadow Warrior, obviously being me and who I am and where I was. Man, I could see it. God, I can go back to those videos. I have to go. I'm having a chat to Michael McNair, my sensei, in a couple of days about this full moon, Mercury Retrograde, blood moon stuff. And you take things as a whole. As I keep saying, we've got a bat belt of gifts. You use what you need to do to balance out. Nothing's ever wrong in your life. You know, some people live by, you know, the moon cycles and all that. I always use everything as a guide. Like I might use crystals, like I might use my cards. I think we can get to a point in our lives where we're controlling our egos by learning and reprogramming in a lot of ways. And things are going to come to us. Things are going to come to us if we work on ourselves. That's pretty much how it works. And we're giving these opportunities. Like I got an opportunity today. I've said it for about 6 to 12 months that I'll do this. And then the opportunity goes, they come up and go, hey, have a look at this. Here you go. Here's your opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. It always comes up.
Yeah.
One that comes up out of the blue. It just comes up and you go, I said yesterday, when this came up, I've got to do it. It has to be done. This is part of the new me. I'm changing my pattern.
Yeah.
Changing my pattern from what I used to do to what I'm doing now. So this is going to be the change. The change is starting today. All yours.
Yeah, I mean, just going with the flow of change. I mean, everything is changing really fast. You know, I just think it's also, you know, me and you are both very energetic people. We like take on a lot of stuff. So I'm finally learning in my life for the first time to balance. Like even yesterday, like today, I was gonna go do my Orange Theory and work out. I want to do this, but I was like, you know what? It feels a little bit more right, even though like my brain wants to go and do all this shit right all the time. Like, but my body was like, hey, we can just rest a little bit. Even just resting a little bit, sometimes even for a couple hours, it makes a huge difference. And then I have energy now. I want to go make a video later. See what I'm saying? But if I had done that earlier, it's cool. Working out's good. They're healthy activities, but I kind of have to learn not to you know, and also we both work full-time jobs and we're doing, you know, so I'm finally learning to like balance and say no to people. You know, there's people that want to do more social, now that I'm doing better and stuff, you know, some people want to hang out all the time, and sometimes I gotta say no because look, I want to work on my YouTube stuff, or I have something, or I just want to relax more, need more time to myself, you know.
That's exactly right.
So like, I'm just learning when I'm just kind of listening to my body. Like my brain, okay, not to be rude to my brain, but my brain's crazy, has a lot of crazy ideas, and once my brain will go to the way to the limit, over the limit, so I have to listen. I'm more just listening to my body, because my body's like, hey, need a rest. If I start to get a little bit of a headache, or I'm starting to get anxious or tense, I feel it in my body, or your chest gets tense, or you get that feeling, the drop of your stomach, you know what I mean? Like there's something wrong. I'm being more aware. There's something that I need to do. Maybe I need to exercise. Maybe I just need to rest. Maybe I need to eat something good, So I'm being very aware of my body is, like they say, the subconscious mind.
We were just saying, Cortez, about the way we're going through, and this is just personally for me, and Diana's probably the same as I am. We've had such, I guess I put on the trauma in our lives, that when we get something good, it's we want it right then and there, but we're not ready. We're not ready here.
You're not emotionally ready sometimes, yeah.
We're not emotionally ready.
And
so,
you'll self-sabotage too then, because you're not. Because
that's right.
Then so like I'm aware, I'm like, hey, it's all too good. And then sometimes I want to do a bad habit, like, or something that I know isn't the best for me, because that's back to normal, right? That's my normal state. It used to be. So you have to kind of push past the comfort zone, like, okay, this would actually be better for this. I'm thinking more long term, listening to my body and not my brain. The brain is a programming. That's all the crazy stuff. Your brain wants to keep going, right? It's in your ego. So I kind of drop down, like my body's like, oh, we need to rest more today. Oh, we need to maybe not spend time with these people. You know what I mean? It's like being more aware.
But it's also the patterns as well. So you got something like, and I guess when something good comes up and you got that really nice feeling, this is what we want, but we need to work. It's not. This is what you're going to feel like, and you can't have it now because you have to work on yourself, and then it'll come later. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's really weird. So that's a really good lesson to have out there, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that's part of this awakening process, is being patient with where we are and accepting where we are as well, because you don't hold any resistance to what you want. And I think Diana done a video about already feeling like you have everything. And when you are in that state of being, then everything that you want comes, because you hold no resistance to what you actually want, sort of thing. So it's just like a life hack to life. Do you know what I mean? Happiness and financial. The thing is, people's happiness changes depending on their life and circumstances. So to define happiness is quite hard, depending on what happiness means to that specific person. Do you know what I mean? So and that goes for riches as well. So riches to me is having a loving family around me that I cherish, and we're all just happy inside. We don't need much to sort of survive, but we like nice things, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So as long as I've got my support unit at home, good health, a few good friends, because I don't need many friends. I just need a few good, like-minded, genuine people around me that are there for you and their self. Do you know what I mean? You don't really need much in life. I think we've all been programmed and conditioned to look for everything out here, and I'm really grasping the just the fact that you already have everything you need and obtain. Do you know what I mean? Inside here, and I'm not talking about materialism. I'm talking about the happiness you are searching for and seeking for already exists within you. And that is so true, but we look past that saying because we believe if we obtain this and we obtain that, we're going to feel. And why do we want these things? The feeling that it brings with it. It's not the actual object that
it's
we
a
want.
drug, mate. It's like a bloody drug. Let's be honest with you. That's where we're trying to get some happiness, because we don't have happiness within inside ourselves. And this is where being aware and doing all the work that we're doing, that if something does come up that we really love, say we see, we'll use materialism for a minute, but say you got something that's, $300, and at the time, even 6 months ago, you go, I wish I could have had that. I want it now. But it doesn't resonate when you can't resonate with it, because it's going to throw you out of balance. But now you do all the work, and you can have that without the stress. So that means you've done your work, and you've got to a point where you can take that $300 thing and say, this is part of my life. This is great. And we can, it's not a quick fix. It's actually part of it. This is nice. I can have this now. You know what I mean? So you're doing that work.
It's so funny you say that, because I've been without a car for like a month, nearly 2 months now. And we finally got a car. I think it was 2 days ago. Nice. And it was a car that I wanted. And the thing is, you see, as you develop and grow along your path, you change, and you realize when you and how I've realized this is when I got the car I actually wanted, and I was sitting in it and I was driving, and don't get me wrong, I was happy, but I weren't hysterical. I wasn't how I thought I would be, you see. And then it dawned on me, like, it's just a car. Do you know what I mean? It's literally just a car. And yeah, it might be nice. Yeah, something that I wanted. But the fact that I didn't have those emotional reactions to how I would have done when I was more, say, materialistic, just goes to show that I've wanted this car for so long now. I've got it, and it's just a car. It's just a car that could go just like that.
But you're happy about it. I mean, don't
get me wrong. I'm happy, but it doesn't define me as a person.
That's what I mean. That's where I'm going.
It doesn't define who I am. Whether I have this car or not takes nothing away from my heart, takes nothing away from what we do. It takes nothing away from anyone. So it was just, it was such a realization, like, yeah, I've got the car of my dreams that I wanted, but it doesn't fucking matter, man, because at the end of the day, that's not going to make me a better person in life. Do you know what I mean? But you're looking at going to help us go to shopping, A from B. I can go out with a family now. It helps, but it just really made me realize how much I've grown from materialism, and it's just stuff at the end of the day, guys. And when you lose yourself in stuff and you find an identity within that specific object you've just obtained, then that's when it becomes a problem, because once that goes, you lose your identity within that and you feel like you've lost something, and then that's when the emotional reactions come. That's when you start, do you know what I mean? So just be calm no matter what's going on. That's how I've learned to deal with the past 2 to 3 weeks, because I haven't been doing shit. I've been going through so much. But I know if I didn't take this break, if I didn't take this rest, if I didn't rebalance myself, if I didn't ground myself, do all the things that I needed to do, then it might have played out a lot longer. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's just part of this Mercury Retrograde, just the new moon that went, the full moon that's coming. It's just mad energies at the moment, guys. We're all just clinging on for dear life, but I needed it. And even coming back and talking to you lot is like reignited that fire inside of me.
We were just saying, I went from writing my hero story to gratefulness to now I write I will every day.
Yes.
There's a page every day, I will, and that's honouring myself. Simple that's stuff right. Like make a choice and stay away from negativity. I remember I do have a choice. I remember I am free. Mm-hmm. Even though, that's what I was just about to say about freedom. We've all got freedom. That's the ultimate. Think about it, the basic stuff. Freedom, choice, peace of mind. There's 3 things that we could have that if we have that, we can enjoy our little material things that we got. There's nothing wrong with enjoying that, but when it becomes, as you said, becomes part of you're stuffed. What do you think, Diana?
Yeah, I know all about externalizing your happiness, and that's how addictions form with me, right? Because I just but we're so programmed, man, into like everything is, and just from the media, everything, social media, like, just everything is like happiness is in the next relationship, in the next, even your own place, right? Material thing, car, whatever. Or even subscribers, on YouTube, sometimes you get, there's some people who said like that they wanted to get, Aaron Doughty, for instance. I remember he was talking about when he was trying to get 100,000, he wanted 100,000 so much, right? Subscribers, right? And when he finally got there, it's like it wasn't even as great. It's just a number, right? You're going there, okay, you have 100, great, you feel good, and then it's like, and then you're chasing the next thing, right? So, but it's the same thing.
Always chasing your blood.
But even like relationships, right? Sometimes you want that. We like want that chase, man. We want that, and it kind of like stimulates you, and you like the instant gratification, right? And then even relationships. Okay, you get there, you're like, great, we're boyfriend, girlfriend. Then you're like, wait, maybe it's not.
Now what?
Not everybody, but sometimes it's not as good as you romanticize the shit out of this, and you're comparing it to other people's like Instagram relationships and all that stuff. And then when you get with the person, you're like, we're just sitting around. I mean, it's cool. I'm not saying you don't like the person, but how many times has that happened? Like where we romanticize and even having a certain amount of money, right, or even a job, right? I remember when I didn't have a job for a while, I was like, oh man, I'll be happy once I get a job. And then when I was like, God, I'm like, it's a fucking job, man. It's cool. I did it. But like we do this, man. We like to chase this stuff, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And but the happiness isn't out there. The feeling is inside here. But we're saying we're allowing it to trigger the chemicals that make you happy, right? The serotonin, whatever, dopamine, whatever we're chasing.
You know what?
When we get this,
when you say to someone, happiness ain't out there, it's inside here. Rephrase that, because it's that's such a mundane saying now that just goes over people's heads. No one really resonates with that because they don't really understand what you're trying to
program the opposite. But your feelings are inside. Your feelings aren't out there. Your feelings are literally inside. But you've made that, hey, this is a trigger for me to feel. I can't feel this way my natural self. So. But it only has to be when I get this. Then, there's a serotonin, there's a dopamine, there's oxytocin, but you can actually do that now. You know what I mean? And,
exactly.
Yeah.
I would even go to say, as far as happiness is a mindset.
Or like joy. I would say joy, because I think joy is more like an interstate that's more like sustainable. Like find things that bring you joy, like a sustained. Not like happiness is just like, okay, I got this guy. I just got a paycheck. I'm happy, and then it goes away. It's not sustainable.
It's like a build-up. Yeah. It's a build-up and an accumulation of a variety of things that are balanced within your life.
Yeah.
So you are able to feel at peace and homeostasis and at home with yourself. That's where happiness drives from. It's not having the egoic mind in your head 24/7 telling you what to do. It's not having all those, and don't get me wrong, you could be in a shit situation and still find peace and happiness within it. Hence why I say it mindset intergoes with happiness, because if you can be happy, but you can be a miserable bastard. And if you've got a miserable mindset, then that happiness is going to be demolished just by the way you think and your being. Do you know what I mean? So
I'll give you a good example of that, right? I was thinking about we're going back to part where Diana and I were talking about having sort of like memories come back to us. Now, here's a good side of things. Now, when we were younger, I'm sure we all did it. We had our own little world, right? My little world was in my...
Younger, I've still got my own little world now, mate.
Then you go back and go, I play a certain song. It takes you back, mate.
100%.
And that feeling, as Diana's saying exactly, it's a feeling in here. And you go, I remember when I was sitting there I had my little record player playing and I was in, you play it, you're in heaven, man.
And you want to know why that happens, Jay? That is part of the emotional brain. That's called your limbic system. And it triggers the emotional parts of your memories.
That's right.
It's crazy, man. But you're absolutely right.
So you look at that way, right? And then we always focus on, and we have to do it to go through to get better, to focus in on those times in our lives where we felt like absolute dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it affected us there. But then you go back.
And
like I can go back and now, to get that energy back in balance, why can't you go and play that song or just remind yourself of the good times you had, even though you're by yourself and you're in your own little world, your little fantasy world where, you know what I mean? It was pretty free, if you get where I'm going. We're still kids, and obviously now we know that we were.
You saying that, Jay, I remember watching a program, right? And I don't know why this has just come up, but you saying that made me I remember there was this man, he had severe Tourette's, right? Couldn't shut up, he had Tourette's. And there was nothing he could do. Apart from what he would do was, he likes playing music. So when he plays music, his Tourette's stopped. But he couldn't play music like all day long because he had to go about his business, tear. So what he done was, he played it in his mind, yeah? The specific music that he was playing over and over and over and over and over again in his mind, just playing the music. And that's how he was able to deal with his Tourette's, and because he was playing that specific song in his mind constantly, his Tourette's subsided. Because that song brought him to that place, like Jay was saying, where he felt at peace, and it just brought him home to that place that is comfort zone sort of thing. And it's crazy.
You look what NLP does. They say basically all you're doing is looking at two things. You're looking at here's the situation. You look at it this way or this way, right? You train yourself to sort of look at it that way, but appreciate one way. But the same thing is when you go, why can't you fix yourself? Why do we have to focus in on? They go, I'm thinking at the good times. Really think about those downloads where you really were at peace.
I can tell you why.
And we made our own peace. We know this because we weren't having peace outside of it. You're in your room. This is my kingdom. This is mine. And you had so much fun within yourself in that area. I'm looking back on it now, and it's really making me feel good. And say this is what we can achieve in this form. But as we've all done, is done the work to say programming. This has come up. You know, acknowledged all this other shit that we've gone through, and now we're here.
100%.
I think it's because the way I look at it, like, okay, so you know how, okay, let's say you had a choice between two songs. Like, I listen to Pandora, Spotify, whatever, and a song comes up. So sometimes I had this happen recently, even today, right? There's a song that reminded me even of the bad part of my life, right? And there's a song that reminded me of the good part. So I chose the one that's the bad. Why? Did I want to go back to that time period? No, because we're addicted to, like, it's a stress, it's a cortisol, it's almost like a rush. Like, our nervous system was kind of like, you get addicted to that kind of the rush, the chaos, right? So like, That's why, like, I had to pull, this happened today, actually. I forgot what song it was, but I had to pull myself away. I was like, wait, why am I listening to this? I know this is not going to put me in a good state. This was a horrible time in my life. Why the hell would I want to do that? And it's Mercury Retrograde and the Scorpio. I was like, why? But it's exactly that.
Lucky retrograde.
But I also think, like, emotions are coming to the surface, like maybe I'm listening to it subconsciously because maybe there's that emotion still someone inside of me and it needs to come out and wants to be triggered. Sometimes I think that's why we do certain things, right? Even I'm gonna go as far as saying alcohol, right? Like, okay, so a lot of people drink because they say it numbs you, right? But actually alcohol is a depressant and it makes a lot of people more upset, more angry. But I think some people subconsciously do it because like it wants to come out, and like that's the only way they're able to express that, because they usually suppress it, right? So I have a theory on what I think about not everybody.
Yeah, the alcohol, but you look at it, the alcohol is that makes total sense, because when people are, they always say it's the best truth serum. Let's be honest.
I was just about to say that, Jay. You know, when you took alcohol, you say what's on your fucking mind, mate.
Or some people cry, some people are angry, some people fight, but that was inside of them already. They said the alcohol didn't know it was already inside of you, but that gave the extra boost, you know.
That took away the barrier of taking away the control of the mind, because obviously you're in a relaxed state. And it does all.
And then that's when spiritual attacks can come as well. That's why they call it spirits.
I read that, dude. Yeah, I read it very detailed.
Honestly, man, I really, it's crazy, but that's literally another life stories episode.
Oh, we can do it that way. Let's get Sarah. I think Sarah would love that one. That would be, we go into that realm. You know what I mean?
That's true though, because as soon as you get past a certain level of drunkenness, honestly, you are so much more prone to be attacked by the spiritual realm, and they literally can take over you and just do what the fuck they want to do. You know, when you just do certain things that you don't want to do, you act certain ways, you say certain things, and at the end of the day, morning you wake up and you think, shit, why did I? That wasn't even me.
Like it wasn't you, right?
It wasn't
sometimes
you.
Sometimes we forget even. Sometimes we black out. Yeah, you forget. It's taking over you. The spirit. It's called spirits. Honestly, it says it in the store. Spirits, dude.
It's crazy. So unless and everyone everyone's experienced that. So no one can say, oh no, I haven't experienced that. If you've been fucked up, yeah, best believe there's been a time in your life where you woke up in the morning regretting something and you can't remember what you've even done. That's just life. But
it comes down. It comes
choices
down to
as well.
Absolutely, it comes down when I did nearly end it all, if you want to put it that way, and the voice in my head said that usually says stop, says keep going, but then I went into inner child, mate. That's why I was like all this fear that came up because I've been regressing it. Now it all makes bloody. I knew that was happening because that's you're out of control, and then you sort of let everything out.
Mm-hmm.
And people go, where the fuck did all this shit come from, eh? And you go, because you held it in, So, alcohol could be a good thing in some ways, you know what I mean? It
can be a good thing, but it's just another it's just another gateway to certain things. It could be a gateway to you waking up to something that you need to know. It just depends on that person, the person's mindset when they're going into it. And I've really started to see the split between New Earth, if you want to call it that. And I don't mean the split as in a physical split. I mean the split of consciousnesses, the split of...
Oh, it's huge. Huge.
Just
huge.
The level of what people... Like just the other day, around the corner from my house, right? We were down the park. A helicopter lands in the field. This man, one woman put her head through the window. He wound up the window so her head was trapped in a car, right? Drove down the road with her trapped, released her, and then reversed back over her head. Right? I don't know if it's for no reason at all, but this is the sort of energies that are making people crazy. It's turning people mad right about now. And that's what I mean by the split. I mean the different levels of consciousnesses and where people are, how if their hearts are heavy. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be
the veil's off, mate. The veil's off, and people can see what's going on. We can see what's going on with people. It's amazing.
It is crazy, these energies, and it's about navigating them. It's about looking after yourself, grounding yourself, doing the best you can to keep away from low vibrational shit. You can't. It's that all that low vibrational activities. Now, it's like, I think Sarah Louise done a video, I think it was yesterday, talking about the light workers and a call out to the light workers. Yeah, if you haven't watched that, go and watch that, because that was such an eye-opening. It made me realise, because you forget how much of a spiritual warfare, I would relate to it, that's going on. Just because we don't see it, we don't see it, but the fact that people are getting attacked on a daily basis.
It's on a global level. It's like other people.
On a global level.
Yeah. It's like we're all seeing the same stuff. Like even the videos she makes. Like I was even thinking about sometimes like videos that other people that we talk to make. Like I was thinking the exact same thing because we're all like on the same like vibration, same consciousness. And then I go into public. And I go to the mall. Like I give the example. Went to the mall last week, and I was like, dude, I couldn't. There's too much heavy energy, and I get like I said, it's not that thing I'm better than anybody. Just I'm on a little bit of a different frequency. I've done a little bit more, and we're aware. But it's like everyone's walking around like a bunch of zombies, like asleep, and everyone's stuck in all those behavior patterns. I can feel it. I was like, dude, I'm going back home in my room.
She's like, you ain't bringing me down today, bitch.
I tell you, I got that, and I'm at work, right? And mate, as soon as I thought, bugger this for a joke, went in the gym. There's a storeroom that's supposed to be an office for the sports teacher, and the last guy just stored stuff there. It wasn't untidy or anything. Well, I said, bugger this, I don't want to be around people, so I set it up, and here I am in my cave, mate. It changed everything. Holy shit! My God, it's changed everything.
In what sense? What do you mean?
Well, not being around people and taking on their bullshit.
Oh, okay.
And the case of the matter is you can feel the veil coming off and understanding that you don't want to be involved with people's crap because they bring it in. They have their own caps in their life, whether they're a work cap, and they're not bringing out the true them. You can, and you just don't want a bar of it. You don't mind talking to people on a casual level because you know they're not on their level, but you wish them all the best and you chat to them and you got to work with them for 8 hours a day. But if you could avoid it like I have and kept away, and I'm just teaching kids sport, which I love doing, instead of dealing with everyone else's bullshit, it's made a massive difference. And just being there going, no, I don't need this. I really don't need your crap in the way. And then now it's changed the whole thing. Even though I do enjoy my job, enjoy where I'm at, people, people just, there's got to be, there's a certain,
this is the end game
balance, isn't it?
I'm telling you now, if you do not lighten the load of your heart, if you do not forgive yourself, first of all, because that's what I've been doing recently, is just forgiving myself and everything I've done. Even when I do fuck up, I'm being able to forgive myself a lot quicker because I'm human. We're all human. We all fuck up. We're all here to learn from our experiences, and that's the key word in that, learn. When you do something over and over again that you're not learning, that's called ignorant. But just to lighten the load of your heart, and that's what I think we all need to do right about now. And I know that's hard because...
No, but you're right. You're 100% right.
You might have a lot of people, certain people that are not in the same mindset as you, so to speak, which then they might come across passive aggressive. They might come across like they're just being ignorant and they don't want to know where, in hindsight, they're not in a position or a place to actually be able to reach what you're telling them, or they might not even meant to make it, because not everyone's meant to make. Not everyone. People go through their own journeys. You know what I mean? Like we've all done it. We can see it, but at the same time, do you want to? If there's no need to take on people's shit as well. You got to sort of help them, but let them do their own thing. But you don't want them to affect your vibes. That's what I wrote down. Will not let anyone affect my vibe. I've been away for a while, but I'm back now. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Cortez, member of the Life Fitness crew. Got the beautiful Diana talking with us today, and the beautiful Jay. We've hoped you've liked this episode. Next episode is going to be next Sunday, I believe, which we should have Sarah with us.
Well, hopefully we'll have a full crew, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll have a full group. And thank you so much for watching, guys. We appreciate every single one of you. And just remember, lighten your hearts over this full moon. It's a heavy one. You're going to have emotions come up. Yes. Take time to rest, ground yourself. Be around good people, good energies, and keep your energy as high as you possibly can, because you're going to need it. So thank you for tuning in, guys.
Things are coming, guys. Yeah. Hey, just quickly, if you want to follow Cortez, it's on Spiritual Needs TV, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm not sure if you've got Instagram. We've got Trailblazer of the Universe. She is a dynamo. Some of the stuff she puts up is one.
On fire.
Diana at Trailblazers of the Universe. Jump on Facebook, jump on Instagram, and jump on YouTube, of course. And, of course, our beautiful Mother Earth over in Canada, Sarah. Jump on I've got it again. Small Sarah, Big Soul.
She's going to kill you, mate.
She's going to kill me. Small Sarah, Big Soul on YouTube, and also Instagram, and also Facebook. You can jump on Life Theories on each of our channels. We do have, just to let you guys know, there will be a live channel, Life Theories YouTube channel that Diana and I and Cortez are developing. And Sarah, of course, is going to be a proper one where you can go and see Life Theories, and then you can jump on to our individual channels and see our videos as well. We're going to try and centralize this so people can actually see and enjoy the stuff that we're doing. And we're really excited about that. That'll happen in the next couple of months. And also we are looking on this, obviously, to go on to other platforms in the future. So
thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Jay in Australia. We've got Diana in the USA, and we've got Batman in the Batcave over in the UK. We say see you later. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Namaste. Take it easy. Namaste. We love you all. Thank you.